think I went to, maybe it was Nape in 2019, or maybe it was Mark. I just felt like whenever you talked about, if you're in a room with people, 100 mineral buyers, maybe six of them are from Appalachia. And if you talk to anybody else about natural gas, I mean, they kind of just gave you this funny look, like, what the hell's wrong with you, or, or why natural gas? So it had a lot of conversations along those lines anyway. Bought actual first mineral and royalty interest, I think, in June of 2019. So I want to say gas was maybe $2.50, and I remember having a conversation at the time, like, well, gas could go to $2, and I was like, no, we're already at the lows, and watching it slide from 250 to 225 to 2. COVID hits. There's a number of deals under the belt, getting really excited about the space, and then maybe it was, call it late spring or early summer, when the first check, I say first, the first check that really hit, where we had depressed natural gas price. I think Henry Hub was at $1.75. Differentials blew out. And I think we had a realized gas price of maybe like 65 cents on the check. And then when you take deducts out, I think there were a month or two where we were getting paid like 25 cents per MCF. And I kind of, had this moment where I was like scratching my head thinking, okay, I pretty much pivoted from a career standpoint and was, really excited about this asset class. Let's go all in. And now we're, getting 25 cents per MCF net. So yeah, I just kind of took a deep breath and then looked at it big picture, looked at a chart of natural gas, and we were at 25, 26-year lows. I would say the silver lining here, just from a big macro standpoint, was, you had 800 oil rigs running in the country, dropped to, 280, right? You had some shut-ins, and you had some shut-ins in Appalachia. The other thing, and I think this is more just on a psychological level, the world as a whole was irrational. Assets were being repriced everywhere. I don't think, especially for a long-term asset like minerals, the uncertainty of the future was never more uncertain. So I think sellers, whether they were distressed themselves or not, the idea of, cash in hand today and a lump sum was maybe never more appealing than it was in 2020. And then the other thing that happened, which I think is a huge advantage to mineral buyers, is, we are looking at checks that are really in the rearview mirror. So, getting paid in the rears, we're looking at prices from a couple months ago. So we're already 2 months in the future, just where gas prices are today. Then on top of that, when you look at a strategy that looks at, near-term development, permits and DUCs, we're also looking into the future. So we're able to look into the future with permits and DUCs, and we're able to look into the future with where the strip price is, and our statements are kind of a reflection of the past. So as natural gas kind of started to find its bottom, and the strip started to look a little bit better, I do think a light bulb went off that said, okay, this is the time to really hammer it. Gas prices are never going to be this low. People are distressed. The future is looking pretty good. Oil went negative. All the associated gas is going to come offline. There's going to be a little lag there. Demand will come back. And then, another thing that really helped us during that time frame, there were several bankruptcies. So you had some oil and gas companies that went through bankruptcies. So, I know some of the risks that we talk about with landowners all the time. You have, commodity price risk that happened. You have timing risk. You have regulatory risk. You have operator risk. On the regulatory front, we had an election in 2020. There were a lot of talks of banning fracking. There were talks of increasing capital gains, tax rates. We work in Pennsylvania, so clearly, Pennsylvania is aware of, a lot of the kind of election and campaign talk. So I think that was a fear that was in people's minds. So it really was a great environment to buy natural gas. I think you just kind of had to close your eyes and think we're at a 25-year low. All the macro events are kind of lining up towards things getting better. We see that in the strip price. We see that in the permits and ducts, and there's going to be a lag. So I think it was a great opportunity, and maybe it was a little bit scary at first. But I mean, I wish we could rewind the clock and go buy more in that same time frame. So.